Good morning, America. This is your president, Reverend Dr. CHAMPvinchi, Nicholas Lee Sutton. And if you're happy and you know it, say it's lit. If you're a genius and you know it, say it's lit. If you're smarter than the rest and you want to be the best, then listen to what I'm going to say. It's lit. So here's what we got. We got trillions of neurons in our brains just firing off electrical signals, much like a cell phone tower, okay? Much like the cell phone sending messages in and out. You can't see that, but you believe in it, right? So we can't see what's going on in our head all the way yet, but we believe in it, right? So let's not take concepts. We are so scared of the human brain. It's a trick of the human brain. It's almost like I feel like our knowledge was taken away at some point because the brain doesn't want to think about the brain, and it's actually not very complicated. It'll take me a little while because it's such an evolutionary idea, but it's pretty simple. And guess what we found out? A new discovery. It's lit. All right, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, allow part 32 of discipleship for your people and leadership, for nations to come through as your words. Lord, you have created all things. And on page 1 of the Bible, you tell us that we are made in your image. So therefore, look at all that's been created around the world that you gave us. And then, Lord, we just want to thank you for the way you interact inside of our brains to help imagination come alive, creativity, engineering, business, arts, math, sciences, all the things that a creative mind can come out to demonstrate that it's you, God, that's working through us. Lord, we discount so many things here on this planet. So many. We discount the skills of so many people as if they're not important. Lord, that is discounting you. So Lord, please, please, please allow us and empower us and allow the message of how to improve your brain to connect to these people, that whether it be today, tomorrow, but within the next couple of years, that they get their lives together by improving their brain. Much like an upgrade of a car, Lord, help us have enough examples to where people get a concept that seems so complicated to where it becomes the acceptance and the new knowledge of where we go in 2020 and beyond. In Jesus Christ, in mighty and powerful name, allow this message to come through as yours, Lord. Amen. Okay, you know what? Jesus, he's lit. The Bible is lit. America, lit. All right, here we go. This is interesting. Today, part 32 is about the human mind and what we may or may not be able, what we can do with it. And also, hopefully, to give you a better explanation, because just saying mind or brain, 99.5% of people just go, which isn't that weird. If your car wasn't working right, when would it be you take it to the shop? If your car sputtered every 2.5 sentences in anger, or if your car had to cut someone down every 45 seconds, or if you had to, if you choose to, and you have to, then to insult or cut down people or call them a name that you think is good, that makes you more empowered, then guess what? Not lit. All right, here we go. Book of Luke, chapter 2. And we're going to skim through some of this right here. And this is something I've never even heard in the Bible. All the teachings, and nobody wanted to talk about the mind and Jesus' wisdom very much. So here we go. I'll do it because I'm lit. All right. Chapter 2, Simeon sees God's salvation. So chapter 2, verse 1 is when came across the decree that Caesar Augusta, all the world should be registered. The census came. Joseph of Galilee, we know all that. Glory in the highest. Shepherds, glory. That wasn't very good. But circumcision of Jesus. Jesus presented in the temple. And then we're going to get to... So this is like the following. So we're coming into Christmas. So what happened right after it? Like within the next years of this. And so Simeon sees God's salvation. And God had told Simeon that he wasn't going to die until he got to see the Christ child. And it had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that was so. And so he came to the Spirit in the temple. And when the parents brought the child Jesus to him, according to the custom of the law, he took him up in his arms and blessed God and said, he blessed God with Jesus. How about that? Wow, Simeon. Lord, now you are letting your servant depart in peace, according to your words, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared before the face of all peoples, a light, because it's lit. Jesus was lit. He's a light. And what do lights do? They get lit. All right. Which you have prepared before the face of all peoples, a light to bring revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people of Israel. What Simeon just said in just a couple of sentences is so powerful. Now that Jesus came, the servant or the slaves can depart in peace. So many of us are still trapped in the slavery of everyday work, having to work for somebody else all the time. Pick up your entrepreneurship book. We're going to push that all across America. We are all entrepreneurs. America is a capitalist system, but we sit around and wait for our bosses to give us a raise, this, that, and the other. Be developing yourself. Start an LLC. It's not that much, and get it going. So what he's saying, I got a little lost there, but he was saying that now he's here. Chill out. You know, he wasn't saying, he was saying, it's lit. Jesus came. The baby Jesus. It's lit. No longer anxious. No longer worried. We have peace. And peace is lit. All right. And Joseph and his mother marveled at these things which were spoken of. Then Simeon blessed him and his mother Mary. Behold, this child's destined for the fall and the rising of many in Israel, and for a sign which will be spoken against. So Jesus came for us to have peace, but there's a sign that's going to be spoken against. And listen to what it is, okay? And then in just like parentheses, it says, yes, a sword will pierce through your own soul. Not through your skin, not through your body, through your soul. That the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. Other parts of the Bible talk about your words or your heart. And so Jesus' birth gave us two things. It gave us peace, but for those who don't choose peace, we can tell who you are. And you are not in Jesus when you are not in peace constantly. You may have an up and down during the day, but if you're the person that's always aggravated at other people or calling them names or wanting them not to have a job, like impeach them, or all these people screaming, impeach him, check your IRA. Yeah, it may be time to replace soon or whatever, or have him pick up somebody like me that's super cool and young and brilliant. But like he's still our president, so you know that. So all of you that are just running around trying to shoot down leaders, it's because you're small. It's because you're this big on the inside. I don't care if you like the man or not. Clap your hands sometimes. That man may die just because all the pressure we give him. Can you imagine all the hate that he gets from all you clowns? Yeah, he needs to clean it up. Mr. President, I love you, buddy. Clean it up. You know how you can do it? Call me. Thank you for what you've done. I'm not mad at you. All right, back to the book. But remember, Jesus' birth gave us two things. One, peace, but two, it showed us who the narnars were. A bunch of narnars. I'm going to narnar somebody today. But it don't matter. You respect that mother and father because this little narnar, I'm going to show him what the narnar is. Narnar. The sword of Jesus' birth comes to your soul. So if you don't watch your mouth, you're going to be a narnar. Your soul is now revealed after the Christ birth. Because before, it made sense to not have peace with everybody. But now that Jesus is here and giving you an example, your lack of peace to you, your kids, the people around you, your bosses, your employees, your government leaders, your everything is a sign of you not loving Jesus. And it's a sign of actually unrighteousness. It is walking atheism. Because didn't Jesus come? Didn't he tell us to have peace? Peace, dog. All right, here we go. More stuff to come. All right, the family returns to Nazareth. Anna. Let's not forget Anna. Hey, ladies. Now there was one, Anna, who I've never even heard of. A prophetess. A prophetess. That's what they're called. Female prophets. How about that? I didn't know that either. The daughter of Phanuel, of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age and had lived with a husband 7 years from her virginity. So probably about 20 years old, I would say, or something would be my guess. All right, and this woman was a widow of about 84 years. So her husband had died 84 years ago. Talk about lonely. Ladies, y'all ain't got a clue. Anna didn't have anybody for 84 years. Smile, girls. And this who did not depart from the temple, but served God with fastings and prayers. Jensen told y'all so, but ladies, y'all got to fast and pray too. Instead of just always wigging out about your husband or your boyfriend or whatever, fast and pray for him. Yesterday, God came upon me about something that somebody had done wrong to me, had stolen my joy, and I'm sure it was out of their humor and thinking that it would be good to play a trick on someone that walking with God. That's not cool, by the way. But you know what I did yesterday? I fasted for them. For them. I felt like all day, but I took the fall for them. So this is what Anna, she was one of those kind of women. I think we need more Annas. All right. And coming in that instant, she gave thanks to the Lord. You need to give thanks to the Lord. And spoke of him to all of those who look for redemption in Jerusalem. This, I can really relate to this as the number one brain doctor in the world. There's nobody who can enhance the brain any faster or better than I can. Facts. Show up if you don't believe me. Don't believe me, just watch. All right, here we go. So here's how I feel. I've helped 251 people in a row. But where's my Anna? I need some Annas, y'all. People out here suffering. I heard about a retired NFL player that's on the edge right now. If you're out there and you hear this and you know anybody that played football, professional football, we can reverse or overpower most CTE. So far, 100% of what I've done is working. So do not wait, because if you wait, the brain shuts down. All right? Here we go. Let's get back to the subject here. All right, so God, fastings, and prayers, and coming in that instant, she gave thanks to the Lord. And so she went around telling everybody about Jesus. You need to too. You tell everybody about your husband, or some crazy guy on a video with a lit hat talking about women need to clean it up and men need to show up, and boy, what does he know? And lady, why don't you tell him about my good stuff? Why don't you start spreading the word about this man can help people? Thank you. And men, stand up, speak out. Let me tell you, you're coming in a minute. All right, here we go. The family returns to Nazareth. So they took all things according to the Lord and returned to the city of Nazareth. And the child grew up and became strong in the spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. So the child grew up, became strong in the spirit. Most kids are strong in the spirit until we beat it out of them or knock it out of them with our words. All right, so there's some really cool stuff coming right here. So much like CHAMPvinchi, maybe probably way bigger, but the boy Jesus amazes the scholars. His parents went to Jerusalem every year after the feast of the Passover, and when he came 12 years old, only 12, don't discount children. Do not discount the minds of the children, is what this is saying. That even at 12 years old, kids are brilliant. Came to Jerusalem according to the customs of the feast. When they had finished the days, as they returned, the boy Jesus lingered behind them in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother did not know it. But supposing he had been with the company and the people they were traveling with, they went a day's journey. I guess they traveled in huge packs, and sought him among their relatives and acquaintances. So when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem seeking him. Hey, parents, I want y'all to clean it up. But at least she didn't lose baby Jesus. Mary and Joseph lost baby Jesus for 3 days. So for all parents that are lingering under shame and guilt and the pride of not letting it go and wanting to take blame of, not wanting to take blame to say, hey, I've hurt my child. I'm going to apologize. And I'm going to make amends and change myself to give them the love that they need and that they deserve. Okay? But so at the same time, just go ahead and do it and get over with it. Because once you do that, you can't just write it off and not fix what you've hurt or try to or change the way you hurt people. You must do that. You know why? It's lit. But don't feel too bad after you do that, because they lost baby Jesus for 3. They lost 12-year-old Jesus. I I told y'all, man, we be walking around pointing fingers at each other, man. Somebody may have had too many drinks at the restaurant last night, but at least they didn't lose 12-year-old Jesus for 3 days. The Bible's hilarious. It's so honest. Now, so it was after 3 days, they found him. Where was he at? He was in the temple. Sounds like me. Sitting in the midst of teachers, both listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. So when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Look, your father and I have sought you anxiously." And she's like, "Why have you been missing?" Although they're the ones that didn't keep up with him. Sounds like normal parents, isn't it? And he said to them, "Why did you seek me? Did you not know I must be about my father's business?" But they did not understand the statement which he spoke to them. So kids know that God is lit and he's legit. But sometimes parents forget. But they did not understand the statement that he spoke. So Jesus advances in wisdom and favor. This is strange. A strange little paragraph here. You take it however you want to take it. And then so in other words, men, let me get to you. You got to get the kids around. Allow them to ask you questions. Give them what you know. Don't force your knowledge, but allow them to respond and just ponder and sit. Even if they're wrong, let it sit. They need practice. So quit shooting down everything any kid says. All right. So Jesus advances in wisdom and favor. Then he went down to them and came to Nazareth. And was subject to them. In other words, mommy and daddy can't really do much right now. But his mother listen to this, but his mother kept all things in her heart. She didn't run around like a babbling fool while Jesus was developing, trying to keep OCD, helicopter mom. Hey, let me make sure everybody. There goes the kid's childhood, because mama was always going, not my mama. She let me do me. But most mamas are like, and then most dads are like, pull it together, talk to the kids, and mama, sometimes. Let a kid develop. He doesn't need you every second. You ain't perfect either, lady. I knew you back in the club about 4 years ago. So here's what Jesus advances. So while he was with the men, the people that teaching him, letting him grow some, his mother kept all things in her heart. Although she was anxious, she had missed him for 3 days. She didn't run in there and yank him up and, be mad at him, did this. She asked where he'd been and why he did it. He said, "I was doing my father's work." And even when she didn't understand what she did, she held it in her heart to see, is this God's work? And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and men. So I don't know exactly what that means, but it does seem to suggest that sometimes while we are developing, that dads needs to give us some wisdom, and moms need to let us be developed. And not saying that moms can't give us wisdom. Y'all always do. I love y'all women. Y'all are the best. We just trying to help everybody. Cause it's lit. I want y'all mamas to be happier too. I got to teach you how. I know you look at these. Alright, so I'm going to just flow from here. So what we have is we have one-track minds right now. We've always been taught, boy, when you get up, make your bed, and boy, you get in school, and you obey your teachers, and you go up, you get an education, and you go work for somebody else. Well, that is a one-track mind, and that's fine. There's plenty of people working for people. I want to have tons of employees on day. But here's the thing. You have to understand that you're not a one-track mind if you don't want to be. Like, look at these trees. Look at the sky. Look at the air you can't see right here. We don't even know how I'm speaking to you. What's going on in this brain, okay? There's many different areas of the brain, and they do different things. For instance, your vision, although your eyes are here, comes from the back bottom part. Reading, language, word recall, and peace and mind and spirituality and creativity and love and joy and peace. These are all in this upper back part of the brain. On the left broad side of the brain is short-term memory and secondary short-term memory. So in other words, if I were to talk about Anna just a minute ago,
it would be in the front part of it. But if I wanted to talk about how long she'd been a widow, I'd have to step back and say, well, what was that? Okay? On the right side of the brain is long-term memory. The front part of the long-term memory says, you know, let's see, a lot of people want to think of a bad memory, so let's go there for a second. The first part of the memory, or let's go to a bad memory, and you can handle bad thoughts like this too. It's a better way to handle it. So let's say someone's dad had been mean to him growing up. Not my dad. He's a teddy bear sweetheart. But let's say someone's dad. So you're going to remember your dad being mean to you. But if you get to the secondary part all the way back here, which is just underneath the spirituality part, they're that close together. It means they're going to operate together. Okay? Then back here in the second part, you can remember that maybe that dad was beat by his dad and his stepdad and left by his mama and given away and all these other things. So what we do is we remember the pain, but we remember the effect, but we don't remember the cause. And we got to get back to the back part of the brain near the spirituality part so that we can give people their chance to grow, and so we can give forgiveness and we can give grace. Okay, and then this front part of the brain, big area, is the frontal lobe. It develops throughout, like a child doesn't come out saying yes, no, yeah. It's in this back part. That's why it's so beautiful and amazing. And then as it decides, as it becomes from God part of the brain to the earthly, fleshly part of the brain, it gets to make its own decisions. It gets to do right and wrong, and now it's accountable for its mistakes and things like this. So what happens is we have this beautiful brain in the back, but the more we have to learn, and then people start getting in our faces like, you gotta focus, you gotta this, you gotta that. Did you know that in the first part of life, from conception to about 5 years old, you learn more then than you do any other time in your whole life? Maybe all of it combined. I'd have to check that, but you learn way more in that time. You learn how to walk, you learn how to talk, you learn all these things. And guess what? You were not focusing because that part of your brain hadn't even developed yet. So how do we learn more without today's, you better go out there, you better focus, son, and then a tobacco breath coming out at you. You're like, Coach, that made me throw up. I gotta go play quarterback. And you got tobacco breath blowing in my face, screaming, focus! And I'm like, Coach, I play better in a flow zone. I mean, you should see my videos in the future. All right, so what happens is this back beautiful part of the brain that loves Jesus and loves Christmas, loves mommy and daddy, okay? When something bad happens to us, short-term memory, and then it transfers it to long-term memory, and then the part of the brain that has energies here, Newton's third law, you can't create or destroy energy, only be transferred. So the frequencies of love and happiness and joy in this back part of the brain have dropped and have to transfer to the front to become numbness of the brain, or slow wave activity. So we drop our capability of being able to be happy and joyful and feel near God, and then we come up here and it transfers it to a slow wave that says, ooh. It's like God putting his hands on the frontal lobe so it doesn't overreact. And he's like, ooh, slow down, my child. But then the brain doesn't kick back into it. The practice, why religion? If you're not religious, here's the thing for you, why not to be, or why to be, is when you read the Bible, it builds this back part of the brain. When you worship God, it builds this back part of the brain. And when you follow Jesus, it builds this back part of the brain. So the part that he gave us as a child when we came straight from him, whether you believe in that or not, either way, build the back part of your brain by doing these things. So what happens is this is really neat. And I shouldn't be giving away all these secrets, but I love you guys. All right, so when the brainless think, all the energy is balanced in the whole thing, right? So the spiritual part, I'm not giving you all my secrets yet, but the spiritual part is back here. So when things happen to us in life, the energy shifts up front. And we become these kind of people, okay? Like this. But we have no joy because we're like, and I see you over there walking around a golf cart and this different stuff. All right? And if you would breathe, fill up your balloon, my friend. Okay? So it goes away from the spirituality. So when it talks about you've walked away from Jesus, it's not just this kind of walk. It is a walk from the back part of the brain to the front. Our breathing can get off, so this mind can create anything. We are God people. God man. God woman. Look what he created. Look what we've created. Cell phones, planes, even back in the day, trains, cars, light bulbs. If you don't believe in the human imagination, go hold a light bulb. Go hold a light bulb in your hand, and then I want you to go make your own. Good luck. Telephones, television, everything. Spacecraft. We're way smarter than like our conscious minds want us to be. But sometimes we got to get in a flow zone to soak in information. And I want you to soak this in with a deep breath. I do this because I truly love you. Have a great day.